Hello, parents. This is a back to school meeting with Pastor Chris Brauns. Let me tell you what I mean by that back to school meeting. When our children were growing up, every year we had this tradition. I would meet with them individually and give them an emphasis for the school year. Depending on the particular year, we would have different emphases. One of my favorites was first grade. And the emphasis, first grade is such an important year for learning to read and developing in reading. And so the emphasis for first grade was, we would always say, reading is the great adventure. If you learn to read, and it's just amazing to think about, get emotional just thinking about it. If you learn to read, you can go anywhere. You can have unlimited adventures. And listen, if parents create that vision for their children about reading, they're the ones to do it. And that can serve them so well, whether you're homeschooling or public schooling or Christian school. So love those meetings every year with our kids. But this year, alas, for the first time since 1999, Jamie and I have no children who are going back to school, at least in terms of K through 12. We have a college student, Mary Beth's going off to college this year, but no back to school meetings in the Brauns house for K through 12. So I'm having a back to school meeting with you all. You are filling in, and I have the question then is, what is the point that I have for parents whose children are starting school this fall? If you're a first grader, I'd try and get you fired up about reading, but what do I try and get you fired up about as parents? And I think it's this. It is my prayer for you, parents, is that as we begin another year of education, whatever context, whether you're homeschool or public school or Christian school, that you would be excited, that you would communicate excitement about learning to your children. Listen, it is such a wonderful thing to be created in the image of God and to be able to learn like we can from such great educators about so many different areas, whether it's math facts or reading or the history of our country or the history of the world. To learn, to be an image bearer who can look at the world and think about it and identify those things that are good and beautiful. So that is a great thing. And God will use the enthusiasm of parents about learning. That'll come through to kids. And I'm praying that your children just sense that they know from you and they hear from you that you're excited about them learning, and that they'll be salt and light in their classrooms, that they will make their classrooms better, they'll make them brighter, they'll encourage their teachers, they'll be an encouragement to their administrators, that we will communicate enthusiasm in our district, because learning is a great thing. So my prayer is that we as communities will pick up on that excitement and it'll come through. And of course, you know what I'm going to say. It's a great thing to learn in general. It is the best thing to learn about God in particular. And so if you don't have a church home, I do know that you're invited to come be with the Bricks. I'm starting a new series. Looking over at our building, I'm starting a new series on this week, August 15th. And the goal is to equip parents to be used to show them how to be intentional in leading. How do you lead your family forward, ultimately to the heavenly city? That's where we're headed as Christians, as believers. But if you don't have a church home, we would love for you to be our guest. But in either case, consider this our back to school meeting. And my prayer for you is that you would communicate excitement about learning to your children as we begin another year. God bless.